Hello, good morning. All are welcome for my basic fire safety class. You are already attending my fourth fire safety classes. Now today I am going to explain the fifth class. Today our subject is what is fire extinction point. So last class, before going to the next series, today's class, we will just have some review on last class. Last class, what I can discuss is what is a fire extinction. What do you mean by fire extinction? Fire extinction method means how we are going to put off the fire. All of you know that fire we require three things. What are the three things? Oxygen, heat, and fuel. If any one of the thing is not there, fire will not be there. So removal of any one of the things, removal process is known as a fire extinction. Removal of oxygen, is known as a smothering. Removal of heat is known as a cooling. Removal of fuel is known as a starvation. So these are the methods of a fire extinction. This we have discussed on last class. Today we are going to know something more about the fire. Ignition point. What do you mean by ignition point? Ignition fire. Before just starting this class, I want to give some example of my experience. So many people used to ask some question. So when I am going this, when I used to take this class, some of my students, sir, at what temperature fire will be catch on this particular material? So what is the temperature we have to keep it? For this answer also I want to give you. Actually, fire ignition is a point which is a particular point fire will catch it. So all the materials are having its own ignition point, not the same temperature. I will just tell you one more example. Now you take some paper and I am giving some matchbox. Can you make a fire with this matchbox to this paper? Definitely you can do it. But at the same time, I am giving lot of hardwood and I am giving the same matchstick. So can you make the fire with this hardwood? It is not possible for you. Not only for you or anybody. Here what, even though both are solid material, both are combustible material, but you cannot make the fire like a paper or in this type of wood. So because this ignition temperature of a paper is less and ignition temperature of a wood is more there. So every material have their own ignition temperature. That ignition temperature is known as ignition point. It is the lowest temperature at which fire can catch to any material. That is known as a ignition point. So different type of materials are having different ignition temperatures. Even some materials can catch fire at a room temperature. As for example, some phosphorus, you must have given some you must have done this type of experiment in your lower classes. Take some sulfur and keep it in a room temperature. You can see that will catch fire. So 28 degrees centigrade is sufficient for catching a fire. So every materials are having its own ignition point. Then another point also I want to clear you, that's a flash point. What is a flash point means? Suppose if you are just increasing the temperature and one particular temperature, you can see that a flash will occur there. If you just give an ignition source there, a flash will occur there, but the fire will not continue. That type of point is known as a flash point. Flash point is always lower than ignition point. But once you have given the sufficient temperature and given ignition source, then the ignition will start it and fire will start continuously. That is known as an ignition temperature of any material. So ignition temperatures are different for ignition temperature, flash point, all are different from different materials. Now coming to one more point, that is called auto ignition point. What do you mean by auto ignition point? Auto ignition point means here you need not require any external ignition source. The temperature, that at particular temperature, automatically the material will catch fire. As an example, suppose in your kitchen, You are pouring the oils and heating up, and lastly you can see that some particular temperature will come, that fire will catch to the oil also. So no need of given external ignition. The temperature when you are giving heated up, automatically that oil also getting catch fire at a particular temperature. That is known as a auto ignition temperature. Similarly, another example also I can give you, that you know about the diesel engine and petrol engine. But what is the difference? The petrol engine we require a spark plug, but spark we are giving, then that means external ignition we are giving, then the engine is starting, engine working. Whereas in the diesel engine there is no any spark plug. Then how it works? Because that is in the auto ignition point of a diesel. That's why the diesel is compressing and reaching that auto ignition point, then that diesel is getting fire and engine will start. So these are some of the examples. Similarly, any material that can catch fire at a particular temperature without an external source of fire. Now I feel that you understood clearly what is a ignition point, what is a flash point, what is an auto ignition point. These three things are important whenever we are talking about the fire materials. Again, last class also I have explained what are the difference of a different type of material, like a combustible material, and also flammable material and explosive materials. All these three type of material also, flash point, ignition point, and this auto ignition points are different. Various are this thing. So that's why for fire safety classes, fire safety, we are giving some instruction that this is the temperature which we have to maintain for that particular chemical. Whenever you are chemical people are manufacturing, don't go more than that much of temperature, because that fire will catch it. So this is the safety point of view. You have to know all this thing. This is a basic thing. So fire safety classes, this auto ignition, fire ignition point and flash points are very important for the different type of materials. Now I feel that you got some ideas about the ignition point, flash point and auto ignition point, and what are the different type of materials. And also you may be knowing that how fire is getting spread. Fire spread is a very big subject. Now we are just giving some idea about the fire, how it can spread it. There are, you know, all the materials are having the heat spread. Heat spread is depending upon three factors. What are the three things? One is conduction, convection and radiation. You may be knowing that. This is the way the heat spread itself is going in a conduction, convection, radiation. The same process is also a fire spread. So fire spread is also like this way: conduction, convection and radiation. This we will discuss in more details in a next class. So what today we have discussed is the three main points. One is flash point, and another is a fire ignition point, and another is auto ignition point. And all these 3 points are different for different type of material. And there are 3 type of fire materials. One is called combustible material, and another is called flammable materials, and another one is called explosive material. Combustive material, when burning you will get ash, and flammable materials, no ash will be there, it is only flame will be there. And explosive material, very dangerous, explosion will take place. And then you may be asking one question: how the oxygen will be getting? Because normally explosive materials are in enclosed way, it is giving an explosion. The material itself is having sufficient oxygen is there. That's why some peroxide, oxygen peroxides are there. That's why it is getting explosive nature. So I feel that you got some idea about the basic fire safety. My class 5th, so class 6th will be coming on next other day. Okay, if you like this class, please share it and subscribe it. And also I So have a very happy day. Happy day means good day, healthy, happy and safe day for all of you. Thank you very much to all of you. Okay, bye bye.